From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Happy Friday evening to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Thank you so much for joining me here for your evening update. We've got cooler and another unsettled day here for tomorrow. More showers and thunderstorms here for some of the higher elevations. And it's going to be the peak of the cooling trend will be tomorrow with gusty winds for Saturday, and Sunday is really going to be the day we see some of those strongest winds, and then drier and warmer as we take you through next week. We're going to talk about all of that, but first let's get you through Krueger's Quick Cast and take you through tonight and through the day tomorrow. If you got plans for the day tomorrow, here's a quick look at what you can expect here. Now, tonight, I do think we could see a chance for some showers and thunderstorms in northern Shasta County and parts of Siskiyou County as well. Elsewhere, I think it should be a dry night tonight with temperatures mainly in the 50s for the valley and in the 40s for most of the higher elevations and even along the coast. Out the door tomorrow morning, I think most of us will be looking at dry conditions. There may be a few showers out towards Siskiyou County tomorrow morning, but otherwise a mainly dry start, but mostly cloudy across Northern California. Now those clouds are coming in with this band of clouds right here. We also finally can start to see the signs of that area of low pressure that's developing right here. This is what's going to be moving down to our south. This will be the source of the showers and thunderstorms that we will see in the higher elevations, and also the source of some of that cooler air that's beginning to move in with that peak of the cooling trend tomorrow. So 8 o'clock tonight, taking you in through the night tonight. Here's 10 o'clock. There are some of those showers and possible thunderstorms developing here. Northern Shasta, I think even northern Trinity County and Siskiyou County could see that. And this will continue through the overnight hours, but it looks like once we get past midnight, most of it will be confined in Siskiyou County. Will continue even into the early morning hours on Saturday, and then by Saturday around midday, that dries out. But once that dries out, we start to see more showers and thunderstorms developing off towards the east. Now, it looks like they will be closer to places like Bernie, Fall River Mills in eastern Shasta County. You can also see some activity in Modoc County, Lassen County, and even Plumas County, seeing some of that shower activity. That's midday on Saturday. By about Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, most of it once again is off to the east. Elsewhere, it is dry, folks, and you know, there may be a stray sprinkle here and there for areas that don't see the bulk of the rainfall, but overall, it's dry as you head west of the eastern mountains. Now, 5 p.m. Saturday, you can see still seeing some of the showers and possible thunderstorms around eastern Shasta County, even eastern Tehama County, and most of it still over Modoc and Lassen counties. Now, what you'll notice here, we are seeing the potential for a few pop-ups near parts of the valley. See, if we get enough clearing, especially for the first half of the day tomorrow, there may be just enough of that instability, what we call convection, where we could see a stray shower and an off chance for a thunderstorm for parts of the valley. But overall, as you can see here, just not seeing much activity for the valley into Siskiyou County and west of that as well for Trinity County, Del Norte, and Humboldt counties. Now, by Saturday night, we're starting to see this kind of shift southward because the area of low pressure I was talking about is now shifting more and more to the south, and as a result, we see the chances for rain begin to kind of move on out, and then we're dry by Sunday morning. So we do have a wind advisory. Finally, the National Weather Service has issued one here. It was just shortly after the noon hour that they did issue that here, and it's basically going to be looking at some gusty winds here. Now, what we can expect to see here for Saturday, the winds will be fairly strong, but I think they'll be strongest on Sunday, which is when, of course, we got that wind advisory. But 5 p.m. Saturday, north winds, 20 to even 25 miles per hour. You'll notice Chico not as bad. So we'll call it breezy in Chico, but stronger winds to the north and west of that. Also, some gusty winds along the coast. We're also seeing some gusty winds to the north and east. That's for Saturday. As I mentioned, by Sunday, the wind should be stronger. So temperatures are cooling off. We'll be in the low 70s for your daytime highs in the valley. There's the best chance for showers and thunderstorms off to the east of the valley. Quite honestly, I think places like Shingletown, Manton, and Paradise, your chances for thunderstorms are going to be much slimmer, but as you start heading to the east, you've got that better chance. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies elsewhere. with those cooler temperatures for those daytime highs. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook, starting off with the valley. We've got the breezy and then, of course, windy conditions by Sunday. This is when we got that wind advisory and some of the strongest winds. By Monday, we're drying it out completely. The wind's dying down back in the upper 80s to even around 90 for some of those warmer spots. For the coast, inland, and for Trinity County, you're mainly dry, a little windy for the coast, and those temperatures warming up, especially for the inland areas and for Trinity County. We still have that chance for thunderstorms here for Modoc County and the eastern mountains. Not so much for places like Mount Shasta and Siskiyou County. There could be some of those early morning showers, but that will start to dissipate here as we get closer to the mid to late morning hours. And then it's dry and warmer going through next week. All right, so that's a look at Krueger's Quickcast. You know, if you want to track the storms, very easy to do that from the free Weather NorCal app. And it's not just the ability to track the storms, but the most accurate and reliable forecast you can get right here in Northern California from yours truly. All you got to do, go to the App Store, search for Weather NorCal, put a space between the two, and download the app for free. Check it out. That's all you got to do. Check it out. If you don't like it, take it off your phone. And eventually, you're going to have widgets that will be available on your phone as well. Okay, so here's what's going on with the satellite. So you can see here, this is the main band of clouds that we're watching move closer to us. This energy is breaking in two. We're beginning to finally see signs of that area of low pressure right here. That low pressure system, you can see it's moving to our south, but what will happen is we'll see more of that flow coming in from the south tomorrow. Then by tomorrow afternoon, it shifts more to the south as this area of low pressure continues to dive to the south into Southern California. But we're also seeing that cooler and more unstable air moving in as well. So looking at Futurecast, we go into tonight. Tonight at 10 o'clock, Northern Shasta, Northern Trinity, and Siskiyou County seeing the best chance for showers and thunderstorms. That continues overnight, mainly for Siskiyou County, but even parts of Northern Trinity County could see that, and then that continues into the early morning hours. But by the time we get into the mid to late morning hours, that dissipates, but then we start to see some redevelopment of showers and thunderstorms off to the east. Now they're moving closer to places like Boerne, as I mentioned, so eastern Shasta, Lassen, and Modoc counties. These are going to be the best chances for showers and thunderstorms by midday. Now, you can see where the bulk of the activity is, and you can see it's going to be off to the east. But that being said, you could see a stray sprinkle or a light shower for all other areas, just not quite nearly as impressive as what we're seeing off to the east here. Now also, if we get enough of that clearing, as I mentioned earlier, we could see a stray shower or even a thunderstorm develop in the valley, but at this point I wouldn't count on it. Again, most of it should be off to the east. By Saturday night, it's quickly dying down. We're dry by late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. There's Sunday morning at 8 a.m. We were thinking initially maybe some early morning showers for the eastern mountains of Modoc County on Sunday, but that's pretty much out of the forecast at this point. And then we're dry and start to warm things up a little bit on Sunday with more sunshine in the forecast. And then, boy, once it dries out, folks, it's going to dry out for a while. Take a look at the forecast rain totals. Way overdoing it, I think, here as you head off to the west here. You're lucky if you see a trace to a hundredth, maybe a few hundredths of an inch of rainfall in Trinity County, in Del Norte and Humboldt counties. Most of it, and most of what you're seeing here is what we're going to see here tonight and early tomorrow morning. Most of what you see here is, of course, kind of taking what we saw today through the night tonight and through the day tomorrow as well. Bottom line, as you can see, not a lot of rainfall. However, you can see some of these bigger numbers. Those are areas that could potentially see some of the heavier rainfall with some of those thunderstorms. So it doesn't necessarily mean that Wairika will be that place or even Alturas. But what it does mean is that potential for some areas getting that much rainfall should we see some of those stronger thunderstorms develop. Wind alerts. Take a look at the wind advisory. This is for 8 a.m. Sunday through 8 p.m. Monday. So it's basically a Sunday event. Still looking at some gusty winds Sunday night into early Monday morning. Although you can see even as we go into 8 p.m. on Monday, still maybe some gusty winds there. But there's that wind advisory mainly for the Sacramento Valley and some of the surrounding foothills. But the winds are going to be fairly strong for the coast as well. So Saturday morning, over 20 miles per hour there, over 30 miles per hour for the coast. Saturday, you're still looking at some strong winds out of the north, but not as strong as what we're going to see here on Sunday. There you can see Sunday, 8 a.m., gusty winds for the coast, but even stronger for the valley. Now we're talking over 30, close to 40 miles per hour with those gusts. That's just Sunday morning. That'll continue through the day on Sunday and could, as I mentioned, linger into Monday. In fact, that wind advisory through 8 p.m. on Monday. All right, so here's a look at that roller coaster ride. Now, we've really seen those temperatures drop and plummet as we go into your Saturday. That's really the peak of the cooling trend. After that, we're going to tick back up with those temperatures. Now, it's not just the cooler temperatures, but with high pressure to our west, low pressure down to our south, we're getting that bit of that squeeze play, and that's what's going to give us those gusty winds as we go into your Saturday, Sunday, and even into your Monday as well. That low pressure system still close enough to us that we could still see some pretty strong winds through the day on Monday before they really died down by Monday evening into Tuesday. But through next week, high pressure will be the dominant feature, and that's going to keep our temperatures fairly warm. At the Climate Prediction Center, the darker the shade of orange or red, the better the chances of seeing those above normal temperatures. And that's essentially what we've got here through next week. So there's that uptick in the temperatures by Monday, upper 80s to about 90 here, all the way through at least the first half of that next weekend. We could see another dip in those temperatures, looks like, by the end of that next weekend into that next week. So you can kind of see those temperatures kind of going up and down a little bit here, but really no big differences or big changes really. Now the wave heights, they will be increasing here for your Saturday, and I don't expect them to get any better on Sunday. In fact, they'll probably get worse on Sunday. So we're not only going to be talking about small craft advisories, but most likely a hazardous seas warning out there as well here throughout the weekend. So be aware of that if you need to be on a small boat. Temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 50s for the valley, mostly cloudy skies. Best chances for showers and thunderstorms will be off to the north as we go through the overnight and early morning hours. Meanwhile, it's dry and cool off to the east, dry and temperatures in the low to mid 40s here out along the coast. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast for your Saturday. Temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s, although cooler out in Mad River at 48, 53 degrees for Ruth. Notice no raindrops in the forecast. If you see a stray sprinkle, maybe a light shower through the day on Saturday, don't be surprised, but overall you should be dry. And of course, we're looking at temperatures warming up as we go into next week. Here's your North Coast neighborhood forecast. Also mainly dry conditions. It's the winds that we got to be on the lookout for both Saturday and Sunday, but maybe a passing sprinkle, a light shower on Saturday. By Sunday, completely dry and more sunshine back in the 80s inland by early next week. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the mainly 50s, Weed about 49, 53 degrees out towards Mount Shasta, Dunsmuir about 59. So again, that chance for a shower, especially in the morning, and then really drying out, but still mostly cloudy through the day on Saturday. And then Sunday, you're looking at the low 60s, back in the 70s by Monday into Tuesday of next week. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Showers and thunderstorms through the day tomorrow. Temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. Dry by Sunday, warming up going into early next week. Showers and thunderstorms for most of the eastern mountains. Places like Shingletown, Paradise, even Mineral, I think you'll have a hard time. But yeah, Bernie, Fall River Mills, east of that, all seen that chance for showers and thunderstorms, and that could also include parts of Plumas County as well. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast. You're mainly dry tomorrow. You're looking at mostly cloudy skies, breezy, and then windy on Sunday, and then it's warming back up here as we go into early next week. There's your 7-day forecast for Chico. You've got the windy conditions on Sunday, and it looks like it's going to be pretty warm going through next week, with temperatures mainly in the upper 80s, give or take, maybe a little bit warmer by Friday of next week with a high of 91. We take you out to the valley to the north here. You can see about 72 degrees for Anderson, 71 for Cottonwood. So certainly a lot cooler than it has been. We're just not going to see much in the way of rain, if any. And then we've got the breezy conditions for Saturday, windy, much stronger winds on Sunday. And then on Monday, we're looking at those temperatures getting closer to that 90-degree mark. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding. There's the winds on Sunday, really the winds over the weekend. Temperatures upper 80s to low 90s for Monday through Friday of next week. That is your evening update. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to watch Chase Wilson tomorrow morning and really through the weekend to keep you updated on the latest forecast. I'll be back again on Monday with your update at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have a great weekend.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.